medical directive tells us who gets to make medical decisions on your behalf. Why is it important in divorce? One of our attorneys had an instance where the nurse actually ended up calling the client's brother and saying, hey, the wife is trying to kill him. What's going on, guys? My name is Mark Real Jr., the Father's Rights Attorney, and I'm the founder and CEO of Real Father's Rights. Today, you're watching lesson number 1 of our masterclass on estate planning. Now, what is estate planning and why is it important? Estate planning is ensuring that your affairs are in order and that both you and your loved ones are protected in the event something happens to you. And why is this important when it comes to divorce? Well, divorce is an event that's going to change everything in your life. And realistically, every single individual that goes through a divorce, every single individual that goes through a child custody dispute needs an estate plan in place to ensure that their kids are protected in the long run. Now, let's go over the basics of an estate plan and why. So number 1 is, what happens if, Mark, I don't want an estate plan? What happens if I don't have a will? I don't have a trust set up? Well, if you don't have those things set up, your assets and everything dealing with your future is going to go through what we call probate, which is a slow, monotonous court process that requires extremely high fees. The fees are actually a percentage of your net worth. So if you don't have an estate plan, that means the state of California gets to pick what happens to your assets. So what are the elements of an estate plan in the state of California? So really there's 2 types of estate plans. Number 1, there's going to be a will-based estate plan, and number 2, there's going to be a trust-based estate plan. And that's going to be determined by your net worth and by your assets. If your net worth is under $180,000, you don't have any major assets such as a home or business, then a will-based plan that lays out who gets what, who gets access to what, may make the most sense. Whereas if you own a home, if you have a high net worth, if you own a business, if you own any major assets, you most likely want a trust-based plan that has a will inside of it, what we refer to as a pour-over will. Now, we have the trust, we have the will. There's 2 other key components to the estate plans we do. Number 1 is a medical directive. Why is a medical directive important? Well, a medical directive tells us who gets to make medical decisions on your behalf if you are unable to make those decisions. Well, why is it important in divorce? We've seen cases where the wife, while going through the divorce process, legitimately has been trying to kill the husband, has been saying no to certain medical care. And one of our attorneys had an instance where the nurse actually ended up calling the client's brother and saying, hey, the wife is trying to kill him. Well, she was allowed to because under state law, she gets to make those decisions. If you're going through a divorce, you most likely need a medical directive that is going to have someone other than your soon-to-be ex-spouse making those medical decisions. And the 4th component is a durable power of attorney, giving someone the ability, if you're unable to make decisions on your behalf. So if you have all of these in place, you're going to not only protect yourself, but you're going to be able to protect your children and your loved ones in the event something happens to you. And guys, I know all of you watching this video are saying, I don't know if I need this. Well, I can tell you this. You have an estate plan. It's the estate plan laid out in probate law by the state of California. With your own estate plan, either trust-based or will-based, you have the ability to set your own rules and determine what happens to your assets in the event something happens to you.